cake of figs, not dogs. Yeah.
Your nephew's so proud of himself for pressing it.
And,
Sorry, falling behind here.
saving a barrel of wine from fire. People we told to come save food, and if they're smart, they could charge him, right? Machlokes where the food could be saved too, whether it's a chatas or revis that's with an Erev or not. Machlokes how to save the food, and then the Gemara says using one utensil to save food or using multiple utensils, and a coat or a jacket, and you keep wrapping it up. Then the types of people that make calculations with somebody on Shabbos, meaning we said it's something between a Yoreh Shemayim and a Chassid. Right? Definitely not a Chassid, but a Yoreh Shemayim. All right, but he doesn't want to take freebies. Then we said why it says by food it says lachem, and by clothing it says li, to help me, and instead of helping yourself. And then the description of the 18 types of clothes, and the Mishna says spreading out skin over burning boxes, animal skin, really, right? Goat skin, right? And then we said machlokes, a utensil full of water can they place without a fire, right? So then we had explanation of the opinions of gram kivo, as it's called in the yeshiva parlance, right? Gram kivo, if that's mutter or not. And then on Amud base, putting out a candle on top of a table, opening doors near candles, right? So we said you can't do that if it's going to automatically put it out. Explanation of machlokes of causing someone to go out is asur, and that's what we're up to now. Okay, so Daf Kuf Chaf Amud base. Yeah, 4 wide lines down. Right, so we've been discussing the machlokes Rabbi Yosef and the Chachamim whether grama by kiboy is asur or not. The Rabbi Yosef seem to have said that it's asur, and the Chachamim said that it's mutter. Right, so meaning according to Rabbi Yosef, you're not allowed to take a utensil, brand new utensil full of water, so that the fire hits the utensil, breaks it, and then the water is gonna fall on top of the fire and put it out. So Rabbi Yosef holds you're not allowed to do that. The Rabbanon seemingly hold that you are allowed to do that. So then the Gemara has a stira from a very interesting case. 4 wide lines down. Rami the Rabbanon, the Rabbanon, Rami the Rabbi Yosef, so why don't we ask a stira from the Rabbanon to the Rabbanon, and from Rabbi Yosef to Rabbi Yosef. The Tanya Haresha, he is shame, Kosav Al Basaroi. For some crazy reason, this guy has Hashem's name written on his skin. Right? So Hashem's name is written on his skin. So how's he going to go take a shower? How's he going to mikvah? So a shower, we tell him, okay, just don't shower. You got to go to the mikvah. He's coming, and he's got to become Torah. So how's he going to go to the mikvah? Hashem's name is going to get erased. He can't wash himself. He can't smear anything. Can't anoint himself, and he can't stand in some place that's dirty. Right? But what happens if he has to go to the mikvah? Tefillah shel mitzvah. What he does is he wraps a piece of gemi, right? In modern language, a gemi is like a piece of rubber, but it's like some sort of grass that would protect Hashem's name, and he goes into the mikvah, right? Which Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Yosef says really he can go in tovel as long as he doesn't rub his hand. Right. So now what comes out from here? That the Rabbanon are saying that they're afraid this is a grama, right? You're not erasing the guy if he has Hashem's name written on his arm, right? By him going to the mikveh, he's not erasing it. The water's erasing it. He's not causing it. It's just a grama. But you see that it's not allowed. According to Rabbanon, Rabbi Yosef, who seemingly should say that it's asur, says it's no problem as long as he doesn't scrub it. As long as he doesn't actively erase it, then it's no problem. So Gemara, so it's a stira between Rabbi Yosef and a stira between Rabbanon. Shani Yosem Damakro Vivadem Eshmam in Amakom Lo Sasem Came Lashem Alekechem. Says you're gonna make Hashem's name be lost. Don't do that. You're gonna make their name, meaning the Avodah Zarah's name, be lost. Don't do that to Hashem. Asiya Huda Asur. So when it says Asiya means you have to actively do it. Grama Shari, to allow it is mutter. Therefore, that's why it's no stira why you would be allowed to do it by the name.
I'm sorry. I'm assuming
Go
it's
ahead.
talking about a tattoo, correct?
I don't know because the tattoo won't come out, right?
And what is
Tattoo
somebody
won't be
with the
erased.
tattoo supposed to do? As a
That's you're asking an excellent question. Well, it's
A
not really. That's not again. A tattoo is not a chatzitza.
A tattoo's under the skin, so it's not a problem.
It's not going to go out. A tattoo, Hashem's name is not going to be erased, and it's not going to be a chatzitza, which we'll get to in a minute. But you're bringing up a question. There was a question. Minchas Yitzchak has this, where a fellow had a picture of a not tznius dressed woman on a tattoo on his arm, right where he's supposed to put his tefillin. All right. Now,
Simon, he must have been one of your relatives, Simon.
So how does a guy go? How does a guy go and put his tefillin on top of a picture of a not tznius picture, right? So of course I don't remember what he said.
The same way the guys daven on phones. The same thing.
Same what?
The same thing, guys davening on phones.
It's the same as guys down.
It depends. It depends whose phone. Rabarin. Some of us have special phones for special occasions.
Right.
Somebody wanted to remove that tattoo. Is he allowed to remove it? It's under his skin. He has to remove it.
Right. So the Yud-K Vav-K is a problem. To remove it is a problem. That the Pais can discuss also. I don't remember what they come out. But yeah, obviously the thing for this guy to do with the not tznius picture, then of course he should pay all the money to get it removed or whatever, however they do. But the Yud-K Vav-K, it's a problem. Right? And people do that. People do have Hashem's name on their, yeah, it's a problem.
From Yaakov, years ago, I don't know what the bottom line is. Years ago, Zevi had a Talmud that Nebuch, he fell in, he wasn't from, and he fell in with like white supremacist guys, and he never had a swastika tattoo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, then he became from, and he had them. I don't know what ended up happening. He's married, now he's a married fellow, I don't know.
I hear. That's not a good thing.
I actually had a rabbi in Eretz Yisrael who was a Baal Tshuva, and he lived in England, and he had a Nazi eagle across his back and his fronts. And when he became a Baal Tshuva, he actually had its skin grafted off, which is a very painful process.
Wow, that's crazy.
There was a guy that I heard about in NCSY from the Bronx that he grew up a Christian.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nick. And he had a big cross on his back, and he became frum. And I don't know what the end result was, but he had this big old cross on his back that popped up on the base of his neck.
So they sent him to speak to Jews for Yoshka. He could be the
Anyways, okay, so yeah, there was a shiloh Yud-K Vav-K. That would be the most chummer of all the shilohs. I think Rav Yitzchak Zilberstein had that shiloh, I think.
But is it a problem to get it done, to write the name on your hand, let's say? Because you're getting into all these problems then.
Yeah, no, it's a problem. Yeah, wait a minute. To get it tattooed, it's not going to be a problem of erasing. But it's going to be a different problem, which you're going to get to in the next
Correct, but
Gemara.
even let's say I write the Shem Hashem on my hand. Is that like the wrong thing to do?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's not like making a bracha, though. It's not like making a bracha levatala. A bracha saying the tzricha levatala.
Can you add to the Yud-K Vav-K, like make it like Haidu and then take off the Yud part, and then now you don't have Hashem's name anymore, and then you take off the other part?
That's a good question. It's a good question. We actually had that in the Gemara a bunch of weeks ago, right? The guy wrote Yud-K, Yud Dalid, right? It was right. It was a Gemara, but that was not like exactly what you're saying. The guy did it by mistake.
What's
right?
a bigger isser, getting the tattoo or erasing a Shem Hashem?
What's a bigger isser? I don't know. They're both isurim. I don't know why does one have to be bigger than the other.
But you don't have to get the tattoo. You can use like ink. You can use regular pen.
To add on to a tattoo and then Mamela. I don't know that I didn't understand what you said. I hear. It rings a bell. All these things. I don't know where I would find it. But I'm sure if you Google it, I'm sure somebody on the internet discusses these questions.
Side note, since we're already talking about it, years ago, before I became from, I wanted a tattoo. My parents told me that you can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery. What's the story with that?
I have no idea where that comes from. It comes up a lot. I have no idea what the source is for that whatsoever.
So you're saying I could have gotten one?
You have the tattoo. You don't have it now. You missed your chance, and that's
Yeah, my dad told me that's the only reason he didn't get a tattoo.
In their own ways, you know. Don't judge me.
Listen, whoever came up with it is a brilliant person because it stopped a lot of people from getting tattoos.
I think that was
brilliant.
What?
That was his judgment, I believe.
Maybe. Listen, we had that.
Would you read it? I thought it was under what spot?
We had a Konik.
I gotta look up 550 now.
Rabbi Yochanan, right? Rabbi Yochanan said I'm not Rabbi Yochanan. Who was it that quoted Rabbi Yochanan? Said Rabbi Yochanan said, "Don't peel the vegetables on Yom Kippur," even though Rabbi Yochanan never said it, right? So maybe that's what this is. I don't know. You're saying Reb Chaim has on tattoos? Something. You just quoted that, yeah?
Yeah, he has a safer just on tattoos.
Wow, how big is that safer?
What's it called?
I forgot what it's called. I heard it brought down in the share a few years ago.
Oh yeah?
I am who?
Reb Chaim Kanievsky.
Okay. Anyways, okay, weiter.
Is it written in color or?
Anyways, but the problem is, the obvious question is, we know in Hilchas Shabbos that the only reason why grama might be more than Hilchas Shabbos because it says Lo Sasa Kol Malacha, right? So we have the same kasha now, right? Hachanamik still Lo Sasa Kol Malacha. Asi Yehuda Asa Grama Shori, right? A person doing it on purpose is that's what's usher, but to just cause something on Shabbos, it's mutter, which is where we get it from. That grama, anytime you do any sort of grama, according to all opinions, is not usher from the Torah. It's only usher from the Rabbanim, from this pasuk. So anyway, then it doesn't answer the stira between Shabbos and erasing Hashem's name. So our answer is so because a person is Baal HaMamonai, Isharas Le'asi L'Kfuya, if we're going to allow him to do this shtick with the kalim, with the utensils full of water, and it's going to break and get all over the place, then he might come and put it out. So the Gemara says, kasha the Rabbanon, but you still have a kasha from the Rabbanon. If by Shabbos, when a person is scared for his money, you allow him to put kalim there that will bust and put out the fire. Here, isn't it a kol shekain, right? So the Tizra says, Hanami hechidami. What's the case? Now, meaning what's going back to the basics? What?
You have Hanami?
Hi Gemi, I'm sorry, right? Hi Gemi, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I've got this old Gemara over here. It's very shracha print. So hi Gemi hechidami. So, but whoever it is, let's go back to the basic case. What is the story with this covering? Hi Gemi hechidami. Right, this piece of grass that's going to cover over Hashem's name. What's the case? If you put it tightly, so then it's a chatzitza. Again, the guy's toveling for legitimate reasons. So you're not allowed to have anything foreign on the body. It's a chatzitza. Right, and it's a separation, and the tefillah is no good. If he doesn't make it tight, then the water is going to go in there and erase Hashem's name. So what do you gain? Right? The Tanya, meaning if you're saying for chatzitza, say it's because it's ink and it's wet ink, meaning the ink is not dry. The Tanya, hadam v'hadyoy hadvash v'cholav yiveshin chatzitzin lachem ein chatzitzin. Right? So blood, ink, honey, and milk. If they're dry, then it's a chatzitza. But if they're wet, they're not chatzitza. Nikomakom kasha. But whatever it is, it's still a kasha. Exactly what's going on here with the putting on the gemi. Now we go in a different direction. You're not allowed to stand in front of Hashem's name undressed. So how can you go into the mikveh with it? So therefore you cover it over like this. You're not undressed in front of Hashem.
Ink is in the same category as these three. The other three are all liquids. Like it's a big difference between ink and the other three.
Why? Isn't ink a liquid too?
Drop.
I mean, it starts everything. I think right. It's not like a ballpoint pen. I think talking about the old inks back then. I think it stayed wet for a while. That's the way I understand it. I think so. Oh, we got the Seifrim over here. Well, I'm not starting over them.
But then you go back
You
to
agree?
the.
No,
then-
you're right. It stays wet.
But then you can go back to the tattoo situation. If you're in the mikvah and you see a guy with Hashem's name tattooed on him.
No, that's a problem. Right. You're right. That would be a problem. Yeah. Yeah. You get out of there. Right. Yeah.
I don't understand
so
here. Why is the Gemara asking it to the Rabbanon? The Gemara is asking here that the gami would be a chatzitza.
That was the Gemara's original question.
The worst, it's a mir to makpid.
No, and Chanami, it's the Rabbanon. It's the Rabbanon.
So
It's not the
Midaraisi, he
Raisa.
still has a tefillah shal mitzvah. Midaraisi, he still has a tefillah. He has a tefillah shal mitzvah. So Midaraisi, he has a tefillah.
Good, but so what? I'm saying we're still it's still the Rabbanon. It's not a good mikvah, right?
Okay, so for this, because he can't Shem Hashem. The problem is here he has an Issa Deraisa. He can't erase the Shem Hashem. So he'll
Right.
have it, at least he'll have it feel of Deraisa.
So you mean he should do it anyways? But good, still the Ma'asim in the Rabbanon, the tefillah was no good, right? Okay, we got to get moving.
Do it anyway.
Yeah,
Let it be a bonus. Okay, no.
You're blanking out. Okay, let's go back to Mechlal Rabbi Yossi Sabar Mutar Lav Ifnei Hashem Arum. Rabbi Yossi, who says he doesn't need to use this gami covering, so he can't stand in front of he has no problem with him standing naked in front of Hashem's name. So he puts his hand on it. So Rabbanan Nami Demanach Yodei Lave, right? So the Rabbanan also, why do you need a gami for? Why just put your hand over it? The Mishnah sometimes he'll take it away, meaning you're not gonna properly cover it. Rabbi Yossi Nami according to Rabbi Yossi, also maybe you're going to take it and you're going to move away your arm. So now the Gemara takes a total different direction, right? And it says that if he had the grass, then he should put it on there. Here we're talking about he has to go find himself a cover. He can't find it. He has to go potentially push off his mikvah because he needs to go find a gemi to cover it, right? So Rabbanan hold that tefillah bismana is not a mitzvah, and therefore he should go look for it, meaning because it's not so important for him to go that particular night, because again, if tefillah bismana is mitzvah, then he has to go that night. So forget about it. Just use your hand, right? Meaning it's more important to go to the mikvah on time and then cover with your hand. But if you hold tefillah bismana as lav mitzvah, so then it's not a mitzvah. So it's not a rush. You go to the mikvah the next day. So therefore, better to go look for a gemi covering.
What do we do though? What do we do with the fact that we don't have any of these things now?
What?
There's no time of
Tefillah bismana, right? Tefillah bismana is not. We paskin is not mitzvah.
Well, now at least, since we don't have base mikdash, we don't have the paraduma and all that stuff. Then what's the point? It's all. I mean, again, this is when it was written, but now.
No, and a chanami. So now it wouldn't be negay. And a chanami. Now this would not be negay. Yeah, you're right. Rabbi Yossi savar tefillah bismana mitzvah. Rabbi Yossi holds tefillah bismana is a mitzvah. And therefore we're not going to make him go after a gemi covering because we'd rather him go to the mikvah on time and cover it with his hand. So the Gemara says the savar Rabbi Yossi tefillah bismana mitzvah. Does Rabbi Yossi really hold that toveling at the exact night is a mitzvah? Tanya azava matzaras. Azava, somebody has a male mitzvah, a female mitzvah, boil neither, somebody sleeps with the neither, but tummy mace, and somebody who came tummy from a corpse. Tfilas and b'yom, then their tefillah is during the day. Neither b'yoledet, tfilas and b'layla. A neither, and somebody has a baby, the tefillah is by night. Balkari, tovel v'ayla kol hayom kula. Balkari could be tovel the whole day. If Yossi Amar min aminchu lamala, ain't it tzarich litful. If he goes min aminchu lamala, then if it happens from mincha lamala, then he doesn't have to be tovel because it's going to be too late anyways, right? He can wait till the night and then he could daven. Then he could, meaning carry. He can't daven when he is going back then. So he can't daven when he has too much carry. So once he missed mincha, so he doesn't have to run to the mikveh because he doesn't have to daven again till Ma'ariv, so he can be tovel at night, right? Whatever it is. So you see, Rabbi Yossi is not holding that tefillah b'zman mitzvah because otherwise you'd have to run to the mikveh. Again, Rabbi Yossi is saying you don't have to run to the mikveh because you already davened mincha, so you'll just wait till night, and then before you daven Ma'ariv, you go to the mikveh. Whatever it is, Rabbi Yossi says it's not a priority. You go to the mikveh right away. So he Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, that's not our Rabbi Yossi. That's Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. There's enough tefillahs if she goes once at the end. Meaning, if you remember from Nida, near the end of Masechta Nida, for those that were doing the daf way back then. So there's a woman who had a baby. She had no idea when she had the baby. She couldn't figure out. Then she got a period, and then she couldn't figure out what was going on. And then the Chachamim say, I forgot who it was that said it, that she's got to go to the mikveh every day for like a month straight because of all the different calculations. Right? Because tefillah was man a mitzvah. Maybe, according to every opinion, there was a mitzvah to go to the mikveh. Yehuda says, no, let's just go once at the end and that's fine. You're not going to make him a sugar. So clearly he holds that tefillah b'zmana is not a mitzvah. Lamaisa, we paskin tefillah b'zmana is not a mitzvah. That's why women don't go to the mikveh on Yom Kippur. That's why the women don't go to the mikveh on Tisha B'Av, because if it was a mitzvah, then they would go to the mikveh on Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. And that is why if a husband's out of town, they don't have to go to the mikveh. And what other examples are there? And if they need to push it off for whatever reason, then they'd be allowed. Okay. Zog the Mishnah. Right, this is also important right here. Amirul La'akum. This is the Mishnah about Amirul La'akum. At least one of the Mishnahs about Amirul La'akum. Nachri Shabbat L'Chavas. A Nachri that comes to extinguish. Ein Amirul L'Chave V'al Techave. We don't tell him put it out and don't put it out. Right? Because we don't have to make sure that that they're resting, right? Because that's nothing to do with us. Only if it's your eved do you have to. Correct? So basically, but you don't have to tell them either way. Yeah? Meaning you don't have to, if you're not allowed to tell him to come put it out, and you're not allowed to, and you don't have to tell him to not put it out. Meaning if he comes. The fire department shows up at the door. Somebody has a fire. You can't call the fire department. Again, we discussed last week. This is only if there's no sakana of people. And nowadays we say that all the houses next to each other is sakana. But assuming it's a shack sitting in the middle of a field, whatever, nobody's ever going to be in sakana. So if the guy comes to put it out, you don't have to stop him. But you're not allowed to call him. Right? But if it's a child that comes to put it out, you're not allowed to listen to him, and you have to tell him, do not put it out. Because his shvisa is on you. Yeah? Now, what's the pshat? What's the issur not to tell a guy? So Rashi says it's an issur d'Rabbanan. It is not an issur d'Oraisa to tell a guy to do malacha. Right? It's issur d'Rabbanan, which is why sometimes we make a lot.
Why would shvisasa? Why would there be any Indian of shvisasa when it comes to a guy in general?
Akiva, where you been? I was going to text you to see where you been.
Right here. Why would there be any Indian of shvisa? A guy is not mechuyev. A guy is fakir. Is not allowed to keep Shabbos. What do you mean ain't shvisasa aleim? Fakir. He should be mechal Shabbos in general.
You mean the lashon is interesting, right?
It's not. Forget about responsibility. There is no Indian for a guy to keep Shabbos.
Right. And a chanami. No, because
I understand. Rashi says lafuke eved, but an eved has some in yanim of mitzvahs. A guy's not mechuyev anything. He's mechuyev not to keep Shabbos.
Correct. And a chanami. I don't know. The lashon is interesting. Yeah, I hear your question. Yeah, what he's asking, he's saying, what is the havamina? There's clearly some sort of havamina. It seems that you would be responsible to make sure that a guy rests on Shabbos. I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah? Okay. So
no, it's for you. It's not that a guy rests on Shabbos. It's he's doing the malacha for you. He's saving your house.
No. I've told you there's two cases. There's one, you not telling the guy to do it. Fine. That right. Has nothing. Then there's you don't have to stop him.
Correct, but I'm saying
why don't you have to stop him? Because you don't care if he does malach on Shabbos, right? That's what the Gemara. That's what the Mishnah says.
Right, but the thinking is doing it for you. Maybe he can't. A guy's not allowed to keep Shabbos, but maybe he can't do the malach. Maybe he can't
maybe he can't put a fire out on Shabbos for you. That's not what Rashi says.
If he does it voluntarily, why not?
The note on Rashi, the article says the Torah requires.
Not what the Gemara says. The Gemara says she'ein shvisasei alein. You're right, and I've told you, you'd be 100% right if the Mishna would leave out the word she'ein shvisasei alein. Why does the Mishna? Akiva's asking. Why does the Mishna say she'ein shvisasei alein? Just say, you don't have to tell him to stop, right? Even though he's voluntarily doing it, but because your shvisa, his shvisa is not on them, what does it have to do? What shaykhs? Right? What shaykhs does a guy resting have to do with Shabbos? Okay,
no,
let's see.
Maybe like Naftali's saying, he's working for you. Man, guy that works for you can't work on Shabbos.
And the Hanami, good. And the truth is, we do.
He's the city fire department. You're paying taxes. He's working for you.
Correct, but the truth is that is the way we paskin. If a guy
maybe the lashon
house and starts
maybe the lashon is
I got to tell him to stop. You got to tell him.
Maybe the lashon is for the next part of the Mishnah.
For what? For cotton?
Of a cotton shop? No, that you are mechayev in his shviyasai.
Okay, right. And a chanami. You mean I hear what Naftali's saying? He's saying the only reason why I use that lashon is because of the end of the Mishnah. I hear. Very good. Okay. I hear that. Okay, so Zog Gemara, yeah, it's getting a little late. By a fire, they allowed him to say, whoever comes to put it out is not allowed to, it won't lose. Right? That's a chiddush, because that's sort of like you're dangling it out there. Meaning you're sort of saying, like, I'll take care of you if you put out the fire. Right? So you're not asking him to go straight out, but you're sure hinting very strongly to allow it. But that's allowed for a fire. Let's say this is a proof. Meaning, let's bring a proof from our Mishnah to Ramami, right? So, comes to put something out. Right? You're not allowed to tell him to put it out. You don't have to stop it. It's mashma that you're not allowed to tell him to put it out. But to say whoever puts it out is not going to lose, that you are allowed to tell him. Fine, so seemingly the Mishnah is a proof to this, but the problem is the Seifa. You're not allowed to tell him. You're not allowed. You don't have to tell him. Don't put it out. And what does that mean? So if you're saying you don't tell him not to put it out, so then so anybody who's putting it out, he's not going to lose. You can't. You also don't tell him. So therefore, we have proofs either way, and you can't. There's nothing to be proven from here, and therefore we have no proof from our Mishnah. So right. So the fire was in the chatas of Yosef and simai in Shichin. And the army, whatever, I don't know exactly what these people were. The National Guard, maybe that's probably the way I would say it. The National Guard came of Tzipari L'Chavas B'nei Sha'apatropos Shel Melech. And the reason why they came to put it out is because they knew that Yosef ben Simai was the apotropos, meaning he was the financial guy for the king. And he did not allow them to do it because of Kavod Shabbos. Now, L'Chayra, that's opposite our Mishnah. Our Mishnah said you are allowed to let them put it out. Right? But he told them not to. And it happened in Nes, and the rain came down and put it out. And in the evening, after Shabbos, he sent to each one of them shtei slain. They sent out 2 slain to each soldier, I guess, or to each fireman, and to the chief, he gave 50. When the Chum heard about this, Amru, he didn't need this. He didn't need to do this because we learned the Farish that a guy that comes to put it out, right? We don't tell him to put it out or not to put it out. So they could have just let them put it out, but he didn't. Okay.
Yeah, but clearly he did the right thing because the rain came and put it out anyway.
That's
clearly he made the right decision. No,
maybe he had the schusim to get that. Meaning, if me and you did this shtick, would we be wrong or right?
It's not guaranteed, but the fact that the way it played out, and the
The
rain
way it
fell.
played out. So now,
So he made the right decision. He made a
correct.
good call.
So does that mean we paskin like him? No.
No, but he was. I would say it was a good call.
It was a good call. It was a good call. Correct. So I would
Why?
say
Aim Saim Chalanes.
No.
What does that mean? Aim Saim Chalanes.
He wasn't Saimich on the nays.
No.
He didn't
No,
care.
I'm just saying it's not a good call. Right,
He
fine,
didn't
but it's not
care.
a good
He
call.
didn't. Right. He didn't care. He didn't care. That's what it was.
Could be Dafka did the wrong thing. He had Zechuyas, so the Roshim saved him.
But then you're not supposed to do that because he's using up his chusim.
Right. That's why the Rabbanan came along and said he shouldn't have done it.
It could be also. It could be. I'm thinking. I don't know if this is correct. He's an Adam Chashav, and he's afraid if he's going to do this, people are going to say, yeah. You know, they're going to say they're going to be nichshel in Amir La'akum. Maybe. Okay. I don't like that shot so much, but all right. This is. It's not. I mean, the Gemara is not marich in this so much, but this is an extremely important Gemara because there is. I think before Shabbos on Friday, I got a couple of shilas about having kids, turning on the air conditioners on Shabbos, shutting them off, doing this, doing that. So this is the Gemara about that, right? But a katan comes to put out the fire, you don't listen to him because the shvisa is on them, and you got to tell him not to. We hear from this that if a katan is eating nevela, Bezdin is mitzvah on him to stop him, right? Meaning a katan, you see a kid eating treif, do you have to stop him or not? He's eating it totally on his own, right? So from this Mishna, why is it any different than a katan coming to put out the fire? So we tell him you have to tell the katan not to, right? The most practical application of this is if a kid, because again, this is the Rabbana, the Chayra, well, putting it out, okay, but a kid is a fleishiks and he goes to the fridge and he starts taking himself some milk, and it's an hour afterwards, let's say. You have to stop him or not stop him, right? Kol shekain, can you give the kid milk? Right? That's the most practical application of this, right? So, whatever it is. So the Gemara is asking. So you see that here, Pesdin is mitzvah to be to mafreshim. Now this is talking about where the katan is doing it ladas aviv. The kavasog, abinachri, the kavah ladai take the Yisrael. I'm sorry, Joey ran on sentence. The katan is ladas aviv. It's talking about a katan who sees the father crying. His house is burning down on Shabbos. The katan decides, I'm going to help out my father. He runs to get water, and he's going to put it on. So now that's called a katan doing it for the father. That's what the Gemara is saying. This is not a katan on his own going to put out the fire. He's doing it for his father. So then the Gemara says, the kavasog abi nachri, the kavah l'day to the Yisrael, mishari. So then the guy must be doing it also for the das of the yid. Right? Mishari nachri l'day to the Yisrael. So the Gemara says, no, the guy is doing it for his own. The guy is not doing it for the father, right? Meaning because he knows he's not going to lose out. That's what Rashi says. The guy's really doing this. He wants a reward. He figures that at the minimum he'll get something out of this. He's not doing it on the das of father. That is a lot of halacha in that last line there. Okay, so basically what comes out is that if a guy taka is doing malacha on behalf of the yid, even if he does it on his own, you have to stop him. Right? This is very, very important. People think, they have cleaning ladies. They come in and they start saying, you want me to turn on the light from you? For you, and they didn't ask. No, it's absolutely not. You are not allowed to let them turn on the light. And if they do
what about business?
You have to leave the room.
What about business? What about businesses that run over the weekends?
That is a big issue. The only way to do that is to legally sell the guy the business for the weekend. How that works is really not simple, but that's what you have to do. You have to sell the guy the business. You cannot have the guy doing it, right? Now, there's an interesting Ramosha, when they used to have, I don't know the
elevators, huh?
The elevators, right? So the elevators in the old days, the elevators had an elevator operator, right? He had to run the elevator for you. How'd you go up to your building, in the buildings? So supposedly Ramosha had said, what you do is you pay him. You pay the elevator operator for every time he sends somebody up in the elevator. Like this, he's working for himself and not for the yid. And then it's allowed. That's why also, if you need the lights on in a room, So what you do is you tell the guy, by the way, there's a bottle of beer in that room, go get it. And then he realizes he needs to turn on the light. He's turning it on for himself, right? Then it's okay. That's what we're saying here. If the guy, you have to fit it in that the guy is doing the malacha for themselves, not for you, right? So
if you have hourly workers working for you on Shabbos, it's a problem. Running in any business.
If you have hourly workers working for you, of course.
They get paid by the hour. That's what they get paid.
No,
you
so
have a nursing home, right?
That's worse. That's worse. Yes, you cannot.
What do all these nursing home operators do?
They have to sell the nursing home for Shabbos to a guy. That's what they do. Now, there's different ways of doing it. There's scams, and then there's major scams. How you do it, right? And then there's ones that do it mamash l'chatchila. The most l'chatchila way to do it is you give the guy the profits from Shabbos, which most do not do that. Most what they do is they tell the guy, you buy it for Shabbos, in lieu of the profits, I'm giving you $100 per Shabbos, right? Even though the nursing home is making 10,000 a day or whatever it is, but that's the way you have to rig it. You have to rig it that way, right? See, now there's another thing that's important. So you might say, okay, 1 second. So my cleaning lady comes to my house. She wants to do the dishes or with hot water. That's not a problem. She wants to vacuum. She wants to do all this malacha. She's working for herself. She's not doing it for me. She wants to make money. The answer is, in a bias of Yisrael, you can never have a guy do anything. Even if they're contracted and they're working on their own, that's not allowed. Meaning you have a carpet installer who comes on Shabbos, or an electrician, and he on his own comes on Shabbos. You're not allowed to let him in. That's a different thing. Even though that's not called working for you on Shabbos, working for himself, but it can't be done in a Yid's house. Okay. We'll get to this more when it's negay. Okay, Zok the Mishna, yeah?
What about gardeners? I was going to say, does it matter if the Yid is living in their house or not?
No, if it's in a reshus of a Yid, it's not allowed unless he's added a tchum. It's a marasayin issue, not a miralaka. It's a marasayin issue. So if the house is added a tchum, then it's not an issue. So then the person can discuss. Let's say the house is in a non-Jewish neighborhood and nobody like in Harlem, and no Yid is going anywhere near there, but it's in the tchum. Is that allowed? That's not allowed. The person can discuss that.
Simon just texted me to ask Rabbi how much money he spent on those elevator operators in his lifetime, because Simon didn't spend any money on them. He wants to know, Rabbi, how much you spent.
Well, I don't even know who's talking.
I think it was before his days too.
What about gardeners?
Gardeners? Yeah, you cannot have a gardener come on Shabbos. Absolutely not.
Let's say they just come to you.
No, you got to tell them to leave. Yeah, you have to tell them to leave. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's a marasayin. It's not a chil Shabbos. It's not a thing. But you do have to tell them to. You'd have to tell them to leave. All right. So Zok the Mishna. Kaifin kar al gabi haner. We had this Gemara a couple times before. You're allowed to put a plate over a candle. Right, meaning you have a candle near the ceiling, and you're afraid that the candle is going to burn down the house. So what you do is you can put a pot over it so that it'll burn the pot and it won't burn the house down. And on the tsoya of a cotton, right, an excrement of a cotton, and we can see in the Gemara exactly how you translate that. The tsoya of a cotton, you can put it over the excrement. Shell cotton sounds like of a cotton excrement, but then we're going to see in the Gemara that's not the way to touch it. About and a scorpion that it shouldn't bite, right? So you want to trap the scorpion. So Yehuda says that a Maisa came in front of Yochanan and Zakkai, and somebody trapped the scorpion, and he said, I'm chayshed that he's going to be chayav a chatas, which is a big chiddush here, because chayav chatas means it's isur d'oraisa, right? Now, scorpions are not something that's normally trapped. Remember, we had this a bunch of weeks ago. We said that the only isur d'oraisa to trap is if something that people normally trap. Let's say like fish or quail or these type of things. But scorpions is not something that people trap. So why should it be a korban chatas? Okay, so let's see. So Rabbi Yehuda, something more. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yirmiyah, Bar Abba, Bar Chanan. Parrots, is there Ma'ariv?
Yes, 10:05 Stein time.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yirmiyah, Bar Abba, Bar Chanan, Bar Rava, Iklu lebei Avin demin neshika. The Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yirmiyah. Now it's this again another story where I don't clearly understand, but their etiquette seemingly was a little different than ours, right? So they all traveled to Bei Avin demin neshika. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yirmiyah, Ava, Aisulu Paraisa. He brought them a bed. to sit on, right? Or really, Rashi said, I mean, Baraisa means a bed, but it really means a chair. Rav Chanan bar Rava lo yaselei, and to Rav Chanan bar Rava, he didn't give. Why? Because he didn't think. He put him on the ground, and the pshat is because he didn't think he was chashuv enough to give him a chair, right? So again, I don't understand exactly what that means, but that's what it was. So Ashkechei Masni Le'Lebrei. So Rav Chanan bar Rava was not so happy, and he heard him teaching his son about Tzoya Shel Katan B'Pnei Katan, and you're allowed to cover over the excrement of a katan because of a katan. Amarlei Avin Shatya Masni Shtusa Livnei. Avin the Shaita is teaching Shtusim to his son, right? Because since he was very upset at Rav Avin, so therefore he went after him for saying wrong pshat. Again, because what did he say? He said that basically saying over the Mishna that you're allowed to cover over the excrement of a human katan to save it from the katan getting himself dirty with it. Right? So, because why? Why is that wrong pshat? Because it itself is muchen l'klovim, meaning dogs would eat human waste. So since dogs would eat human waste, it's not muksa. So why? So what's the problem? So Gemara says, and if you're going to say no, the reason why it's muksa is like as we know, the muksa has to be prepared from Friday, and this was not in the world on Friday. This kid only went to the bathroom on Shabbos, so maybe that's why it's muksa. Right, we learned in the Brisa, so the rivers that are flowing and mayonas and streams that are flowing, it's the same as the person's feet, meaning it's not considered like they came from outside the tchum, even though they travel. Right, Shabbos afternoon, you want to take some water from the stream. It's been traveling for the whole day, so it came from far away. So we say no, we don't. We look at it the way it is right now. So therefore, we look at the stuff that it came out right now. So therefore. I mean, we look at it like it was there from before, so therefore it's not a problem. So then if that's the case, and it's not muksa, so then how do you say pshat in the Mishnah? We say that it's really talking about the waste of chickens, and that we don't want the katan to touch it. So the Gemara says, why don't we just say, the Gemara asks, why don't you just say that it's allowed to be moved because it's a graf sharei, right? I think we discussed this. Graf sharei means it's muksa, right? Anything disgusting is muksa, but you're allowed to move it because it's disgusting. So since it's disgusting, the Chacham gave a dispensation for moving it. So why don't you just say that you're allowed to move this stuff? Why do you have to cover it with a pot? Right? Just move it because it's disgusting. And if you say that maybe the heter of moving the graf sharei is only with a utensil, but it itself you can't move it, meaning you can only move the excrement with a utensil, but not it itself. There was a mouse that was found in Rav Ashi's spice cabinet, and he tells him, take it by its tail and put it into the garbage. The cotton, right? So therefore, you see that you're allowed to use the actual. You're allowed to use the actual stuff. By the way, while we're learning this, somebody just texted me they found mouse droppings in his drawer. Just say, I don't know if it's not much exactly, but close enough. Yeah. So v'katan ba'ashpa, meaning it's in his shameless drawer. So he wants to know what to do with the shameless. Anyway, v'katan ba'ashpa, my boile. What is a katan doing in an ashpa? Right? So we say b'chatzar. No, it's talking about where the chicken stuff is in the chicken waste is in the chatzar. Chatzar nami graf sharei. So if it's in a chatzar, then it's a graf sharei, right? I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Take it by the mouse's tail and throw it out. So when it answers be'ashpa, it's talking about where it's in an ashpa. So if it's in a garbage dump, so then it's not disgusting. Right? I mean, then that's where you're allowed to move it. So the Gemara says, "Cotton ba'ashra my boilers." And why are you worried about a cotton? What's a cotton doing in the garbage dump? Which I'm not exactly sure what the Gemara's question is. What's a kid doing in the garbage dump? Kids get everywhere, right? Okay, but maybe not back then. So we say b'chatzar. It's talking about a chatzar, not in it's a ashpa in a chatzar, meaning it's like your garbage cans that are in your yard. So kids get into that. So the Gemara says, "Chatzar nami graf sharehu." So if it's in a chatzar, then that's also a graf sharei. So we say ba'ashva shabbat chatzar, right? No, it's talking about the ashva that's in the chatzar. So therefore you have both. Okay. Right? On a scorpion that shouldn't bite. Anything that damages is allowed to be killed on Shabbos. Also, Rabbi Yosef has the kasha, there are 5 types of animals that could be killed on Shabbos. Some sort of fly from Mitzrayim. B'tzira shebin ninveh. And how do we touch tzira again? A hornet or a
wasp?
A wasp? A wasp,
yeah.
Thank you. Shebin ninveh, v'akrev, and a scorpion, shebechadia, v'nocha sheberetz Yisrael, and a snake in Eretz Yisrael, v'kelev shaita b'chol makom, and a kelev shaita in any way. So money. So who's that? Elam Rabbi Yehuda, ha'amar malacha she'en tzivul gufa chayiv Allah. Right. So who's it talking about? If it's Rabbi Yehuda holds a malacha she'en tzivul gufa is chayiv, right? So how can you say that you're allowed to do it? Right, meaning that you're allowed to kill it. You're chayav even if you're killing it. Meaning the reason why you have to be chayav for killing is if you want the animal dead for a reason. Like in the Mishna, they wanted the animals because they needed the skins. Right here, you're just killing the animal because you don't want it to bite you. That's a malacha. That's killing it, doing the malacha not for the intended reason. But if Rabbi Yehuda holds that you're chayav, saying you would be chayav even if you kill animals that are scary. Elulav Reb Shimon. So then it must be Reb Shimon who holds malacha she'en tzricha l'gufas potter. So Gemara says, "V'hani hu d'shari achrini life." It's Reb Shimon. Then only these 5 you're allowed to kill. Others you're not allowed to kill. So Rabbi Yirmiyah, uman name alon dahamis tratzihi dim mishavashti. Who says that this thing is correct? Maybe this brisa is incorrect. Dim mishavashti. Maybe it's a mistake. So Rabbi Yosef, I know masnin the law. I learned it by Svina law, and I asked on it, and I answered it too. It's talking about where these animals are running after you, and it's according to everybody that you're allowed to do it. Even Rabbi Yehuda would be mother that you're allowed to do it if the animals are running after you. This is very interesting. If somebody kills snakes and scorpions on Shabbos, the ruach of the Hasidim is not going to be happy with it because the Hasidim, are super frum and they're very unhappy that you killed them. Right? And those Hasidim, the ruach of the Chachamim is not going to be happy with them because the Chacham is going to say, "What are you crazy? The guy's chased. This akrav it's a sakana. You got to kill it. Don't be a Chassid and not kill it. You got to make sure to kill it again." So we're saying the Hasidim would be upset at the guy for killing it. And the Chachamim are going to be upset at the Hasidim for being upset at the guy because the Chachamim say, "What do you mean? It's a guy's life's in danger. Of course he should kill it." Pliga the Rav Huna, and he disagrees with Rav Huna. The Rav Huna Chazil who gathered the Kokato Zibura. Rav Huna saw a guy and he killed a Zibura as a bee, right? Amrale Shlamtinu Lakulu. Did you finish killing all the bees? Meaning, what's the point of killing one bee? There's probably 100 more of them. Why should you kill this one? Right, so clearly he holds that you should not kill them. Okay, I guess it's late enough. Okay, we'll stop over here. All right. Have a good night. Stay safe.
So, Yaakov, I sent you on WhatsApp the Reb Chaim Kanievsky.
What, the Kuntras?
Yeah.
Oh, it reminds me I have to print out what you sent me on Friday. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
That one, the one on Friday was harder to find than the Reb Chaim.
What?
The one on Friday was much harder to find than the Reb Chaim. I took a screenshot of the video and then I had to zoom in to try to read what month and issue it was.
I hear.
Yeah, but it does look interesting. I didn't look at it yet. It's Kuntras Bays on the Reb Chaim.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.